My husband and I haven't discussed too much our own plans of what we would do in the later stages of life. Probably because I'm 34 and feel like I'm invincible.
Plan A is to die in our sleep holding hands together. That's plan A. And plan B is everything else.
I don't think we've thought through a lot of the needs that we might have or what's available to help because we haven't realized we're getting to that age. It's coming on us all of a sudden, and it just hasn't been a part of our thinking.
70% of us after the age of 65 are going to need some type of long-term care, and oftentimes we'll need long-term care services and supports for 3 years or more. I mean, around 83% of all the help that's provided to older persons in need in the U.S. comes from family members. As we all know, the number of persons who are quote-unquote older in U.S. society, that being 65 years in age and over, is greater than ever before. Roughly, there are around 7 to 8 family members for every older adult in need currently. In the next 20 to 30 years, that ratio is going to drop to roughly 5 to 1 to 4 to 1. So that means there's an impending family care gap.
As we're aging, and if we were to need help at some point, I wouldn't want it to be a financial burden on our children, or have it be something that takes away from their time with their family.
I think we want to stay in our home as long as we can. Wouldn't you think that?
I'm with you.
Once we need help, I would prefer that I still live in our home, but one of our children provide the assistance we need to continue living there.
My mother lived with us for 23 years. That's kind of a bit of a reference for us. It worked very well, and we would maybe anticipate something like that with our children.
When we think about the steps that are necessary for long-term care planning, there really are 4 key areas that one should start thinking about. The first is assessing where one wants to live. I think for most of us, we want to live where we are now, or want to stay in our home for a long period of time. So if that's the case, we want to make sure that our home is able to accommodate our needs as they change, as we grow older, or perhaps as our loved ones grow older. The second is really thinking about one's own health and trying to take steps to prevent the onset of potential chronic conditions that often necessitate long-term care. And these are health steps that we all know, we just probably all need to do more in terms of diet, in terms of engaging in routine exercise, engaging in screening. So really trying to promote one's own healthy lifestyle to really reduce the potential need for long-term care in the future. The third is to gain and obtain a better understanding of the potential costs of long-term care, to understand the array of long-term care services and supports that are out there, but then also to really take a sober look and understand what are my resources and what do I have available to actually pay for long-term services and supports. And then the final area to consider is really to develop a legal and financial plan. And the reason why this is so important is oftentimes when long-term decisions are made, they're often made under duress. They're made in situations where the person who needs help doesn't always have the greatest degree of choice, decision-making, control, etc. And so planning ahead allows one to have that control, to choose and select the types of long-term care that they actually will want in the future.
You want to be there for them to a really great extent to, be able to reach out and provide whatever it is that they might need, but at the same time, it's the last thing that I think any of us want is to feel like we're a restriction on the activities or the livelihoods of our parents, and to slow them down or inhibit their dreams in any way.
And if one of us were incapacitated, I know you guys would make the best decisions for us too.
I would hope so.
We'll let you know if you don't.
We have dedicated ourselves to them in their later stages of life. So whether they like it or not, they're stuck with us.
Ditto.
We have not talked about this with our children that I can think of, but that would be something that would be a good thing for us to start thinking about doing.
Yeah, certainly.